Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. We are in the first round of the playoffs, and I'm ready to go. I am your host this evening. I am the Crushinator, and I will be casting tonight's Heroic Division matchup between Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming. The Richards is what I will be referring to them as today, because it's very hard to cut off my Richard mid-flow. Teams are getting ready. Let's jump over to the tail of the tape. Let you know about tonight's matchup. The Richards coming into tonight in the second seed. 8-3 is their match record. They are 19-9 on the maps. Currently most played maps for them, they are 6-0 on Hanamura Temple, 3-2 on Braxis Holdout. Most played heroes here for the Richards, 8-6 on ETC, 6-2 on Diva, 5-2 on Ana. Wildheart Gaming coming into tonight as the 7th seed. 5-6 was their match record, 11-13 on the maps. Most played maps for them, 3-2 on Braxis Holdout. May see that map today. 2-3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Most played heroes here for Wildheart, 3-7 on Greymane, 4-5 on ETC. That's a combined 22 games on ETC between these two teams, and they're currently 5-3 on Stukov. So some high impact healers on both sides with some very strong win rates. Let's check the bracket here in the Heroic Division. Currently, Archon took it 2-1 over Team Reapers. Moving on to the next round, they will face Saros Crypto Crew, who took it 2-1 over Phoenix Rising Ruby. Last two games in the Heroic Division are being played tonight. Brawl is Life is taking on Phoenix Rising Topaz a little later this evening. And then Richard and Rit against Wildheart Gaming will face the winner of that series. Let's jump over to the maps, as our teams are about ready to go here, one would hope. Oh, I didn't put in the first map, did I? It's going to be a surprise reveal. The Richards banning away Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Wildheart banning away Dragonshire and Hanamura Temple. And game number 1 will be on Towers of Doom. Look at that. Were you in suspense due to my poor planning? Towers of Doom is going to be map number 1 here, chosen by Wildheart Gaming. Looks like our teams are about ready. See if I can hold off on the camera switch. Oh, they're asking me if I'm still ready. Yep, I am indeed ready. Ryokai with the host, playing in today's matchup. Hope everyone is having a great day. There it is, we got a draft! Woo! Wildheart representative Goon. GG, well played in the chat with that fancy CCL Wildheart emote. Good to see it. Alright, we've got our first draft of the night. It is the Richards who are first to act here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Gonna ban away the Junkrat, which is the most played hero of Tempest on the other side. So we'll see if the continued focus on the DPS pool is a priority, as Cassia is banned away by Wildheart Gaming. Cassia just very strong overall. A little bit higher in the play rates over on the side of the Richards, but, you know, Cassia's just good. Regardless of who's playing him, regardless of how many times it's been played, Cassia is a threat. Richards next to act here. See what their thoughts are. Gonna ban away Lucio. Interesting pick there. Lucio can definitely help here on Towers of Doom with mobility, can help move some, you know, some big tanks here on towers like Garrosh. Sometimes we see a Lucio Arthas come out, that's always fun. Not wanting to deal with the skating DJ though. Wildheart Gaming is next to act. You gotta wonder. I was gonna wonder if they're gonna ban ETC, if they're gonna ban away the Chromie this time. So a lot of focus onto the OP assassins, which makes sense here in the Heroic Division given how skilled these assassin players are. Richards thinking about their first pick here. A lot of favorites. We've got ETC on a Diva. Sticking with the Sylvanas though. A Ryokai special. First pick here for the Richards. Wildheart with the chance to respond. going to be Diva and Brightwing here for McNulty and Dope Monster. So holding back on the ETC just a little bit in order to take some more, some harder to replace heroes, we'll say, in Diva and Brightwing. Richards next to act. They've got the Sylvanas push power. They've got the Burst Assassin, very mobile in Sylvanas. We'll see what the support is going to look like around that hero. Going to be Ana and Dahaka coming on out for Secret and Crafty Devil. Dahaka did get buffed recently. And Globals are definitely an older style option on towers, but definitely for players like these with such good timings in their rotations, Dahaka can absolutely do a lot of work here. I'm not too sure on the Dahaka versus Diva matchup, even in lane or even with double soaking. So we may see an alternate strategy coming out for our teams in terms of not just stacking in the 4 and doing nothing else. We're going to see some visits to the mid lane for sure. Cho going to be banned away by Wildheart, as that is, they've played 5 games, I think, this season, the Richards, on Cho'Gall. So just not wanting to deal with that here, especially with Ana involved. And Garrosh going to be banned away by the Richards. Lots of options. They need their tank, they need their damage. Lupus going to be locking in the Imperious main tank here for Wildheart, and Brown Bala bringing out the Grey main. That'll be the 11th Grey main game this season for Brown Bala. Last 2 picks for the Richards. Now, I say that they need a tank and a damage, but we have seen some very, very wonky comps in the higher levels here on Towers of Doom, so that's not necessarily what it's going to be, though it is what it is. Muffin going to grab Maiev, and it's going to be ETC picked up by the Pie Maker. Last pick here for Tempest. Junkrat off the board. Chromie off the board. We've seen some Li Ming and some Deathwing coming out from Tempest in the past. There it is. I was taking a look. I was like, there's not a ton of percent damage. I mean, Maiev and Sylvanas can do some work, but not exactly the kind of work that you really need versus a Deathwing. Tempest locking in the unstoppable force of death. Will it be enough? Will the Richards overcome the Deathwing? Or will this Imperious Brightwing blow-up comp come through for Wildheart Gaming? Let's take it to Towers of Doom for game number 1 and see what our teams have to show us. Here we go. Alrighty, loading on in here to game number 1. On the left in the blue, it is Richard and with Ryokai on the Sylvanas, Crafty Devil playing Dahaka, Muffin on the Maiev, the Pie Maker playing ETC, and Secret 333 on the Ana. On the right in the red, it is Wildheart Gaming with Tempest on the Deathwing, McNulty playing Diva, Lupus playing Imperious, Dope Monster on the Brightwing, Brown Bala playing the Greymane.
2, 1.
Here we go. Game number 1 is underway. Taking a look at our level 1 talents. Dahaka still thinking about it. We've got Block Party coming out from ETC. No questing talents to be found, although Dahaka does have 2 of them to pick from. This Muffin trying to get the drag on McNulty, but the pull from the Umbral Bind will not land. And that Deathwing wave clear is very difficult to deal with. This Pie Maker going straight in onto Lupus. Diva being chased away by Crafty Devil here, but Brightwing's coming in with the heal. We're going to see Dahaka and Diva move up to the top lane, and our rotations will begin. Lupus coming from the outside, landing the Impale there onto Muffin. That's a lot of damage coming out, but the Shade is enough to warp away. Ooh, the Impale isn't going to land there, but Ryokai in all sorts of trouble, manages to warp away. Tempest throwing out the Molten Breath, getting a couple ticks, but that's going to be all. Dahaka still holding that level 1. Gotta think that's going to be the W talent. No, it's going to be Tissue Regeneration, so not getting a little bit of Essence off the start, but that'll be quickly handled with the Double Soak. Ground Ball and Dope Monster starting up the Sapper camp here for Wildheart Gaming. Muffin just now jumping on. Tempest going to move across the map here. Looks like we may have an invade here from Wildheart Gaming. Pie Maker slides through 3. Lupus can't get the Impale. Nice knockback from the Pie Maker. Diva coming on down as well. This is going to be a full camp invade. McNulty going to start up the race. And it looks like they're thinking about it. Deathwing is starting to move up. It looks like they will not go in for the full invade. They need to make sure that their soak is handled. But that does mean that the Richards are a little bit behind on their camp taking. But they will end up getting it. Right now we see Deathwing moving up to the mid lane to try to pressure out Dahaka. ETC is going to catch that soak as you see Crafty Devil moving up to try to catch the orbs up here. Secret almost landing that Sleep Dart onto Dope Monster. Looking definitely for a Sleep Dart or Slide Engage with the Umbral Bind pullback is what looks like the engage plan coming out. Oh, the Molten Breath. Gonna force Tempest to stay still, so Ryokai moving around the edge, putting Tempest right down to half health. Here comes Diva from the top lane, already coming down as the solo laner to pressure these fights. Just coming down to be sure. Muffin going in, gets the pull onto Brown Ball, gonna force out a Medallion from Greymane. And we're looking at our first altar phase of the game. Triple altar phase, as always here on Towers of Doom. McNulty being harassed, going to use those boosters to get on out of there. Crafty Devil almost landing the drag. Looks like the bottom altar will be contested. Dahaka moving up to the left to get that channel. Deathwing going to drop down on the right, so it's going to be a trade in the top lane. Oh, Dahaka going straight in here. Lupus could be in trouble. Crafty Devil wants the drag. Brightwing coming in as well. Oh no. Pops the Medallion. Does not have the blink just yet. That's going to be Brightwing down. Lupus to follow. McNulty waiting to drop off that bomb and try to escape. There it is. Crafty Devil putting some damage onto McNulty. But Pilot Diva will escape for now. That's going to be Ryokai picking up the altar, and that's a 2-for-1 for the Richards. Now the siege in the bot lane will commence. Brightwing and Imperius starting to come back to the battlefield. A good start here for the Richards. They've got that level 7, they've got the wall down. Tempest thinking about coming around the outside. Finds the stun onto Secret. Lupus finds the Impale as well. This could be trouble here. Oh, a fantastic Sleep Dart onto Brown Ball is going to force the push onto Muffin. Greymane going down here. Cataclysm is actually popped by Tempest to try to move back. And now we see the Richards moving in for a camp steal with Greymane down. There's not a whole lot Wildheart's going to be able to do about this. Checking in on the XP, it looks like the Richards a little bit ahead in that minion soak, of course, with that camp steal ahead in Mercenaries. Wildheart's certainly not out of this yet, but they're going to have a little bit of a gap in the heroics gained. Oh, nice stun there onto Muffin, but Pie Maker with a great Fate Smelt will cut that Impale short. Molten Flame is going to try to clear away these Sappers. One will land. Nice little auto attack from Deathwing, swiping that Sapper. Pie Maker has been absolutely on point with these face melts to interrupt the Impales. Really, really impressive coming out from the Richards main tank. Left side camp is up. We're going to see the Richards pick that one up. McNulty pushing back Crafty Devil here. Trying to hold on to that essence. Going to use the tap. Get ready to come in for the next fight. There will not be level 10s for this engage. Oh, there's a sleep slide onto Lupus. Pulled back with the Umbral Bind. Dope Monster will land. But could be a lot of chase coming in here. Ryokai coming in as well. Actually, Brightwing taken down on the backside. Lupus trying to double back, but there's Muffin with the Fan of Knives. Drag is good onto McNulty. Gonna drop off the mech here. Trying to kill Diva before the mech drop down is available. We will not be able to do it. Boosters not available here from McNulty. Deathwing interrupting Crafty Devil for now as the rest of the Richards chase down McNulty. Sleep Dart will not land, but there's the slide. That's going to be enough. Pilot Diva goes down. Deathwing just endlessly interrupting Crafty Devil here. I'm not sure how often Deathwing can actually land that. It might be indefinitely. We'll have to see. Skyfall landing just in time. Level 10s have arrived here, and the bottom fort has been taken by the Richards. Crafty Devil just saying, I can do this all day. Heroics online here. Oh, Lupus finding the Impale. Finally goes through. Skyfall's running out of time there. Looking at Wailing Arrow, Nano Boost, Containment Disc coming on out from Maiev, Mosh Pit, and Isolation for the Richards. Level 10's about to be online here. Oh, Containment Disc doesn't quite find Dope Monster. Good attempt there, coming on out from the Richards. But level 10s have arrived for Wildheart Gaming. Looking at the Micro Missiles, Bellowing Roar, Angelic Armaments, Cursed Bullet, and Blink Heal. Deathwing coming around the outside, gonna throw on the lava to scout. See the Richards, they're starting to back off their spot here on this defense. Dahaka battling it out versus D.Va in the top lane, and it looks like Wildheart Gaming starting to push their way onto the fort. Muffin getting the damage of the Umbral Bind onto Deathwing, not going to be able to complete the pull. But snapping that Umbral Bind is definitely damage. Now we're looking at a Sapper Camp steal. Lupus wants to go in on this. Brown Ball are thinking about it as well. Deathwing coming around the outside, trying to throw out the stuns onto this point. There's Lupus getting slept darted again. There's the Angelic Armaments. Tempest putting down a huge Cataclysm. That's going to be trouble here for the Richards as Piemaker, what a mosh pit on the outside. Imperious and Brightwing going to go down here. Counterkill is good onto ETC as Secret manages to get the sleep onto D.Va. Muffin moves on through with the Umbral Bind. There's the D.Va mech explosion. Gonna get a piece of Crafty Devil on the way out. Isolation onto D.Va. Muffin and Secret just wondering which way to go here. Crazy back and forth for only 3 deaths there. As we see Brightwing and Imperious making their way back to the battlefield. ETC about to come up as well. There's a double altar phase here in the bottom lane. Richard's gonna pick up that bottom altar with ease. McNulty just gonna interrupt Crafty Devil till the crew comes along. The Micro Missiles hitting the altar, that's kinda rough. Drag is good. There's the knockback from Piemaker again. Deathwing dropping down in the back. Dope Monster in some serious trouble. Ryokai pushing on the edge. Containment Disc is going to stop McNulty, and Sylvanas actually counterkilled. Great job by Brown Ball at jumping right in there. Now McNulty chasing down Secret in the background. Another huge sleep dart. Keeps Ana alive. Dahaka in some trouble here. Burrows, but comes right out into the grave. 2 kills for Wildheart Gaming, and they're going to convert this altar despite being down 13 talents. Breakwood coming in with the follow. Thanks for coming on out and supporting the show. Hope you're having a good time. Bottom tower going to be taken back here by Wildheart Gaming. Piemaker just watching for an invade. So the rest of the team is coming on through. Dahaka just coming up now. Deathwing actually headed to the top lane. Going to meet Dahaka up there. Nice job by Crafty Devil catching as much XP as possible. McNulty coming across for the harassment. Oh, a big... Look at that, the Impale and the Polymorph onto Muffin, bringing Maiev right down to 25% health. But Muffin is unafraid, getting the pull onto Brown Ball and knocking in that Containment Disc. Look at the mosh! That's gonna be 3 down, 3.5. That could be it for D.Va as well. There it goes. Containment Disc into the mosh. A nasty setup by the Richards. Bottom fort will be going down. The Black Arrows of Ryokai locking this in. Sappers take it down. Looking like a Sapper Camp steal coming up, but exactly the wrong time here for Wildheart, as there's still a few seconds till the rest of their team is back on the battlefield. Deathwing working on the offlane soak, just trying to find some levels here. They're about to be down level 16 talents. We've got a double altar phase in the top lane. Can Wildheart Gaming find their footing here? They were looking pretty good in the mid game, turning things around on that team fight. They're going to have to do that a few more times here. Oh no, McNulty boosting into the lane. The rest of the Richards are here. They want to find the gank. The slide is good. Sleep is out. The mech is going to drop from McNulty. Boosting on through. Oh! Wait a minute. Did that Containment Disc delay Pilot D.Va from getting back into a new mech? Or was that just delaying the explosion? That's gotta just be delaying the explosion, right? Ryokai finishing the altar there. Left side altar picked up by the Richards as well. Now we've got a boss play. D.Va down and not much else to do on the map. Might as well grab an extra 4 shots. We're going to be going up 33-8 here for Richard and Richard and Bottom lane will be claimed by Wildheart Gaming while that happens. So back to even footing here for Wildheart. As we see the Richards pushing down the mid lane. Black arrows are out again. Tempest coming around the outside with a big follow-up stun. Piemaker with the slide. Will get to safety. Lupus moving right on up. Look at the Molten Breath damage. Quick Sylvanas pick coming in from Wildheart. Huge, huge play. Deathwing trusting the Impale of Imperius. They find themselves a pick, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Finding their footing and getting back into this game. Looks like a possible camp steal, and Lupus not going to get the Impale, but will ward away the members of the Richards. Piemaker making sure the rotations don't come on through. Tahaka moving back up, and it's a triple altar phase. Getting 2 of these will secure victory here for the Richards. So Wildheart have got to keep an eye on multiple altars here. Looks like Deathwing just keeping an eye. Tahaka in the top lane. Right side Sapper will be the focus here for Wildheart to create some pressure, but they've only got 6 seconds. Tahaka on the left side will not be stopped. Wildheart will be focusing on the bottom lane. Deathwing's going to get the top right. Make sure that there's no back tap shenanigans. Sleep is out. Lupus in trouble, has to pop the armaments. Coming on through, there's the silence onto the back line. Dope Monster able to blink on out to the lane minions, but there goes Lupus. McNulty on the outside getting shredded by Ryokai. Deathwing dropping on down after taking the altar. Mosh pit onto 1 here. Make that 2, and that's D.Va. D.Va mech, Imperius, goodness, Greymane's down. Brightwing and Deathwing the only ones left. Tempest about to fall here. Dope Monster can only stand and watch as the Piemaker seals the game. That's going to be 4 shots onto the core, and that is going to be game number 1. The Richards put the first point on the board. GG. Tremendous game number 1 there. The Richards making it look easy out there. 16 kills to 4 and a 29, I think it ended up 29-0 core victory. Very nicely done. Ryokai on the Sylvanas leading the way for the Richards, 56,000 hero damage. It was Tempest on the Deathwing, 35,500 for Wildheart Gaming. Take a quick gander at the talent screen for those interested. And then we're going to go ahead and get set up for game number 2. Alrighty, game number 1 is in the books. An uncharacteristically quick Towers of Doom puts the Richards on the board 1-0. Can Wildheart Gaming come on back and make this a 3-game series, or are the Richards going to shut things down? We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, it's going to be game number 2, Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming. Here we go. Alrighty, welcome back. We're getting ready here for game number 2 of Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming. The Richards putting up the first point on the board, looking to seal out this series and move on to round 2 of the playoffs. If you're just joining me, let's jump over to the bracket. Let you know about the rest of the heroic division here in the NGS. Archon advancing versus Team Reapers 2-1 will be facing Saros Crypto Crew next week, who took it 2-1 over Phoenix Rising Ruby. Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming. The winner will take on the winner of Brawl is Life versus Phoenix Rising Topaz, who are starting up just about now, I believe, over on Dropping Babies channel. So if you're running multiple tabs, keep an eye on that, twitch.tv/droppingbabies. And yeah, you'll get all the action in the heroic division that you desire. As you may have heard, draft number 2 about to be underway. Let's take you over to the maps to remind you of the state of the series. Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Dragonshire, and Hanamura Temple are banned out for this series. It was the Richards taking the first victory there on Towers of Doom, and now it will be the Richards hosting Battlefield of Eternity for game number 2. Let's jump into that draft and see if there's any reactions from our teams. Usually the first ban set is pretty well locked in for our teams. I wouldn't be surprised to see very similar bans. Though it is Battlefield of Eternity, so there are some definite power picks that are not the same on other maps. But Wildheart gonna ban away Maev first, Muffin bringing the noise there on game number 1, and Wildheart do not want to see that again. Richards looking at their next ban here. Battlefield of Eternity. Gonna ban away Li Ming. Li Ming kind of brings the best of both worlds here on Battlefield. You can build for race, and even if you do build for race, you're still good in a team fight. If you build for a team fight, well, you're not so great at the race, but you can poke from afar, and that's really, really good. So, good map ban coming out from the Richards. It's going to be Chromie again, taken out by Wildheart Gaming. Understandable. Those time traps and just the positioning of Chromie being so far away from everything else makes it very difficult to deal with. Speaking of launching things from a great distance and being difficult to deal with, there goes Junkrat off the board. And Brown Balla says, "We'll take the Cassia if you don't mind. Thank you very much." Was banned away there in game number 1, but the opportunity is Wildheart's to pick it up here in game number 2. The Richards will snap up that ETC once again. Secret back on the Ana, Piemaker back on the ETC, so looking at a very same comp. They don't have access to the Maev this time. I'd be a little more surprised to see a Dahaka. I mean, there's a lot of vents for Dahaka to zoom through all dinosaur style, so it's not impossible, but it's not quite the same range you get on that dig. McNulty gonna jump back onto the Diva here. Dope Monster will be playing some Stukov. So looking to take advantage of the silence area. No matter how good you are at this game, it's very hard to play well when you're not allowed to press your buttons. And Stukov is an enabler in that way. And Richards thinking about their next ban here. They've already got their ATC. See if they want to focus on a tank ban. If they want to choke down the off-lane options. Oh, Diva's on the board, of course. I'm saying that because it's mostly been in Division A. I've seen a lot of tank double bruiser come on out, which is definitely a possibility. Because Cassia is a lot of damage in the back. So, very possible from Wildheart. We'll see what they're going to do with it. Garrosh was the choice for the ban by the Richards. Wildheart going to ban away the Sylvanas, force Ryokai onto something different this time around. So no Maev, no Sylvanas, ETC and Ana already picked. And there's the Cho'Gall, Muffin and Crafty Devil. This will be their 6th Cho'Gall game this season, a Snap and Uberak here by Lupus. And there's the Malthael by Tempest, a very planned response, looks like, coming on out from Wildheart Gaming. Anubarak. Crafty Devil on the Gall. Alright. What is the damage option here for Ryokai? Gonna be a Rainer. Helping out with the race, helping out with the long-range poke. Strong choice on Battlefield of Eternity overall. Alrighty. We've got the Cho'Gall on a comp, we've got the ETC kicker and the Raynor long-range damage. Wildheart Gaming with the Anubarak Malthael to counter, the Stukov to throw down the Silent Zone. Is it going to be enough? Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming, game number 2. Let's get into it. Alrighty, loading on in here. Game number 2. On the left in the blue, it is the Richards. Ryokai is playing Raynor. Mafaker on the Cho'Gall. Secret on the Ana. Crafty Devil playing ETC. On the right in the red, it is Wildheart Gaming. Brown Bala on the Cassia. Dope Monster playing Stukov. McNulty on the Malthael. Lupus playing Anubarak. And it is Tempest on the Diva. So it is the double bruiser comp with the Malthael coming on out here for Wildheart Gaming. See how these teams fare. Raynor going to be putting some hurt onto Anubarak. Anubarak very good versus spells, very flimsy versus auto attacks. So Lupus definitely going to be on a timer during these fights, trying to move up into Cho'Gall. McNulty moving around the edges. Gonna put Diva in the top lane, gonna put that percent damage down here in the bottom versus Cho'Gall. As the wave clear looks to be pretty even so far between our two teams. McNulty working around the edges. Let's check our top lane matchup. We've got the ETC in the off lane. Haven't seen that in ages. Versus the Diva. Anubarak's going to go in, get the double knock-up onto the backline. Great engage there by Lupus. McNulty on the edge is going to find some damage onto Cho'Gall. Big start here by Wildheart. Making the Richards play a little bit carefully. Berserk 12NV and Sasa Easy, thank you very much for the follows. Hope you're enjoying the show. McNulty moving on in, putting some damage onto Mafaker. Overall, not too much kill opportunity here. Just trying to stress out Secret's mana pool, which is not that stressed at the moment. On a pretty mana efficient so far in the game. ETC, a little bit more stressed on the mana. Gonna have to move back here versus Diva. Hit the well. Coming up on the 2-minute mark, our teams are going to start to think about their shaman camps pretty soon. Cho'Gall taking some hits there, trying to throw some damage onto the wall there. Long-range siege coming out from Cho'Gall. McNulty going to peel away with the crew, start up that right side shaman camp. Going to see Ryokai with that Executioner Raynor work on the left-hand side as well. Nice job by Cho'Gall to move away, but McNulty warping into the lane. Gonna put some of that damage onto the big ogre machine. Immortals spawning in about 20 seconds here. Teams are gonna start up and time out these shaman camps with the objective. ETC just catching all the XP possible. Grabbing those off-lane talents. Guitar Hero at 1, sticking with the loudspeakers on 4. So no speed demon. Which is normal. The extended face melt is very hard to say no to. Nice knock up there. Oh, McNulty moving on through. There's the silence. Cho'Gall could be in some trouble here. Secret trying to get the heals. McNulty warping on through. Look at that percent damage just tick away. I think that last healing dart might have been just enough, but oh no, Secret in trouble here. Now Ana's got to move away. Burrow charge is going to be good. Brown Ball starting to catch up. That's going to be it for Ana. Cho'Gall survives, but Ana falls. Oh no, Cho'Gall gonna have to turn right back around. There's the slow with Stukov. Surging Fist will be enough for Mafaker to get away. Bottom fort taking some damage here. McNulty having to move back and deal with this shaman camp as the fort down past half health. The race pretty even here so far. Wildheart jumping on the race. Ryokai and Secret moving up here. Tempest trying to reduce the damage of Varian. Is it going to be enough, though? Tempest thinking about dropping the bomb off. Gonna push back Ana and Ryokai. Mafaker on the edge here. Ana out of range. Cho'Gall taken down. Looks like the race will go over to Wildheart, as well as level 7. D.Va and ETC will remain in the top lane. Looks like D.Va has the better of this matchup so far. Ryokai gets caught here on the burrow charge. Ryokai popping that armor. Oh, the slow coming out, and Cassia finding the last hit. Ryokai have to regen back in base, and it looks like this push may do a lot here. Shielding already gone from the Immortal, but it's going to start moving on to the core. Or the core. Going to start moving on to the fort. That's a triple sleep dart coming out from Secret. Just flexing on him back there. This fort looks like it will be forfeit, though. McNulty warping onto Mafaker again, but Secret is there in range with those healing darts. Sleep Dart gonna shut down Anubarak. Wildheart Gaming, they're getting some good work done here. But they are on a bit of a timer. Cho'Gall, post-level 10, and especially post-level 16, is a little bit of a monster. But they think they're a monster at 7 here. Thinking about going in, but there's the Silent Zone to deny the Surging Fist. Nice little pickup there. Dope monster. Nice work. It's like D.Va pushing around Crafty Devil just a little bit. Bottom lane. We're going to see the push come on in here from the Richards. Mafaker has to use the Surging Fist to get on out of there, but Gall's long-range siege is very, very strong. Throwing in the bombs, throwing in the bounce. This fort could be in trouble. Crafty Devil trying to keep Tempest occupied here in lane. Looks like Ryokai is going to move around the outside to try to get a Khazra camp for free. But McNulty having kind of the same idea here. Move it on up to try to cut off Crafty Devil. Secret is here, though. Going to throw out the Sleep Dart. I might tip off Wildheart that Ana would be up here as well. McNulty gonna move on up to the camp and gonna find Ryokai here. Can McNulty get onto the point? Oh, the penetrating round from Raynor is enough to take the camp, but will it be enough to survive? Crafty Devil in the background. Trying to get the slide, possibly. Nice camp steal coming on out here from the Richards. Wildheart Gaming have their 10s. It's gonna be Last Rites, Valkyrie, Micro Missiles, Cocoon, and Stukov still thinking about their options here on level 10. Some mortals are about to spawn. Teams are going to pick up their shamans, as is tradition. And we've got neutral positioning here on the Immortals. McNulty going to start up the race here. Just throwing in that Reaper's Mark. The Richards thinking about getting some XP. They find their level 10s. It was Massive Shove picked up by Stukov. Looking at the Twilight Hammer. Twisting Nether. Raynor's Raider, Nano Boost, and Mosh Pit for the Richards. So far, a clean halftime, and opposing neutral positions have been forced by Wildheart Gaming. Lupus has to use the Burrow Charge to get on out of there. It looks like the Richards are here for the defense. They've got their heroics online. Ryokai with that Executioner is going to burn this down very quickly. So Wildheart will have to come in here and defend. McNulty avoids the slide of Crafty Devil. Mafaker moving straight in there. Gets knocked up by Lupus. Knocked up in the air, you gutter mind. Tempest moving around the outside. The Hammer gonna knock back D.Va. Tempest knocked out of the mech before the bomb can drop, so D.Va pilot mode is gonna have to be the way for just a little bit. There's the last right. It's gonna put Mafaker down to quarter health. Now we're gonna see Brown Ball and McNulty start up the race once again. And top fort picked up for free there by Wildheart. They're in a great position. They're going to have a pretty healthy Immortal pushing down the top, I want to say. It is going to be the top. Got the coin flip right. The Richards just looking to survive here. They need levels and they need structures. So just looking for a full defense. Tempest gonna drop off the bomb. Hoping for a new one. I'm gonna say that was totally on purpose. Big brain plays. To go ahead and charge up that mech once again. Mafaker trying to get some extra damage onto the Immortal. Bringing down that shielding pretty effectively. ETC getting some counter clear in the bottom lane. Oh, there's a nice pull. A little bit of a shove there by Gaul is going to get Cho'Gall out of trouble. Mafaker taken down below half health. You see the touch of death on Malthael being applied to reduce that Ana healing. Keep looks like it's going to be defended here. There's the nano boosted Cho'Gall going to force the retreat coming out from Wildheart. Crafty Devil with a huge mosh on the outside will get interrupted, but will it be enough? McNulty trying to get away from those bouncing Dread Orbs. Cho'Gall knocked out of the cocoon. Some great reactions from our two teams. No kills to be had. Tempest moving on to the bottom camp. Well, Tempest. Yes, Tempest. Wildheart Gaming specifically, Tempest included, going to move on to this bottom camp. Grabbing that Khazra, trying to just lock Richards in the base. Forcing them to camp clear, forcing them to stay near the walls. Lupus moving around the outside. Crafty Devil is mounted. So just going with the wave clear here. Level 13 arrived for Wildheart Gaming as well. It's Cho'Gall actually down in the bottom lane. That could be a tip-off. Wildheart thinking about moving in. Cho'Gall is clearing away that Khazra camp. This keep is only at half health. Oh, what a Valkyrie onto Ryokai. Brownball moving in as well. But getting caught on a little bit of terrain there. Secret with the healing darts is going to keep Raynor alive. This keep may not be so lucky, though. Claimed here by Wildheart. Oh, a big silence root on the Crafty Devil. Crafty looking for a slide. Last rites will land. ETC is down. There is the Cho'Gall shut down. The Twisting Nether will not land. Great cocoon coming out there from Lupus. Immortals are spawning, though. It looks like we're going to have neutral north-south positions once again. The Richards going to grab their Shaman camp here. But they're going to give up the first half of this race with ETC down. Top keep being gone presents a serious problem here for the Richards. That's constant catapults against no catapults in the top lane. Mafaker catching 3 there. Tempest trying to get the pushback, but is caught by the damage of Gaul. And we're actually in race positions here. This is great news for Wildheart Gaming. They're going to start to move in, but that's Nano Boost Cho'Gall. Mafaker's going straight in there. Crafty Devil coming around the outside. Mech Bomb is going to come on out. Cho'Gall trying to get away. The Valkyrie will not land. Everyone getting healed up by the well, by the Stukov goop. Meanwhile, Ryokai on the Raynor just shredding away at this Immortal, but will it be enough? Mafaker moving on the outside. There's a huge mosh pit, but interrupted by Dope Monster on the silence. That's going to be ETC down. Mafaker taking some big damage there. Last Right's coming on out, but is taken away by the Molten Block. Ryokai managed to shred a lot of that shielding. Great. Oh my god, these sleep darts from Secret. You wonder why Ana's so good in the meta right now. Bottom lane going to be caught up here by Tempest. Looks like Braunball are going to come on in and help out. As this Immortal going to be pushing down the bottom lane.
The demon approaches the gates of heaven.
All members back on the battlefield here for the Richards. 15 to 14 is the levels. Can Wildheart Gaming find 16 here? New mech here for Tempest. Shielding is gone on the Immortal. There's the pull, but Crafty Devil getting caught on the gate there. There's the nano boost on the Cho'Gall once again. Twisting Nether is out. Gonna land onto Brownball. McNulty moving on in, trying to find the last rates possibly on the Mafaker. Objective will fall here. Cho'Gall with the tap, wanting to go back in. Micro missiles to ward away the members of the Richards. And Wildheart getting the wall down, getting a little bit of that keep, and they're back to their game plan. Take the camps, keep the lane pressure on. They've got their level 16 talents, but 16, that's a big, big spike for Cho'Gall. These fights might start to turn here. Gonna see some keep pressure coming on out from Wildheart, wanting to get as much of an advantage as possible while they have their Talontier advantage. Micro missiles dealing some big damage there. Dread orbs bouncing away, just trying to clear away these minions. But they're going to get on top of the keep. McNulty gets the mark onto Mafaker. Oh, there's the pullback. Cho'Gall in trouble here. The stun is out. Molten Block going to keep Cho'Gall alive for now, but the chase is on. Last rites is going to be enough. Cho'Gall is down. The mech is dropped here by Tempest to shed the aggro. And Wildheart, are they thinking about core here? Secret finds the sleep dart. Cho'Gall is down for 30 seconds. ETC coming around the outside, and core is absolutely the call here for Wildheart Gaming. Crafty Devil pushed away. Lupus just trying to keep Ryokai off the damage members of Wildheart Gaming. Crafty Devil pushing back McNulty on the outside. This is going to be trouble here. Malthael is down, but the core down to 60%. Could the defense be here? Brown Ball moving around the outside, manages to avoid the slide. Secret is pumping in the damage. 20% on the core. That's Cassia down. Crafty Devil and Ryokai are trying to do it, but that's going to be it. Wildheart Gaming strike back and even up the series 1-1. GG. What a game. The Richards break out the Ana Cho'Gall, but the pressure from Wildheart Gaming just too much to handle, and they force a game number 3. Well done. McNulty on the Malthael, edging out Brown Balla on the hero damage, 36.5k. It was Gall, played by Piemaker, top siege, top hero damage, almost 44k, coming on out from the two-headed ogre. Great, great stuff there. Excited to see the game 3 against these two teams. Take a quick look here at the talent screen, and then we're going to go ahead and get set up for game number 3. Alrighty, Wildheart strike back here on Battlefield of Eternity. They want this series. They're not going down without a fight. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, it will be the finale of Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming. Don't go far. Alrighty, here we go. Game number 3. Getting ready here between Richard and Rit versus Wildheart Gaming. Excited to see who will come out ahead in this series. It's been two great, great games so far from our two teams, and it will be decided in this next game. If you're just getting here, I'll take you over to the bracket as I give the teams the ready. Archon and Saros Crypto Crew have moved on to the next round with their 2-1 victories over Team Reapers and Phoenix Rising Ruby, respectively. The winner of tonight's series will take on the winner of Brawl is Life versus Phoenix Rising Topaz. That's going on right now over at twitch.tv/droppingbabies, so make sure you're keeping an eye on both these series here in the Heroic Division. As you may have heard, it is going to be Cursed Hollow for game number 3. We'll remind you, Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Dragonshire, and Hanamura Temple were banned away. It was Richards taking Towers of Doom for game number 1. Wildheart Gaming striking back on Battlefield for game number 2. And the Cursed Hollow draft is ready to go for game number 3. So let's jump on in here and find ourselves a Junkrat ban once again here from the Richards. Not interested in the repositioning power and the distant wave clear of Junkrat. And there's the Chromie ban from Wildheart once again. So, Cursed Hollow. Could see Dahaka again. There's nothing, I mean, unless these teams want to break out an Abathur. And Uberak going to be banned away by the Richards. Possibly trying to insert the thought of a Cho'Gall into their brains. Still a possibility here, of course. They played quite a bit of Cho'Gall. Wildheart thinking about their next ban here. Do they give away the Cassia? They're just going to go ahead and ban Gall. They're fine giving up the Cassia, but they don't want to deal with Cho'Gall strats again. But will the Cassia be picked? Of course it will. Top assassin right now. Picked up here by Ryokai. Wildheart thinking about their next choices. Gonna be Stukov again for Dope Monster. Is it gonna be Diva here for McNulty? Picking up the Diva for the third game. Looks like it will be. Diva's just strong. Hard to deny. See what our next two are gonna be here. Not gonna be Cho'Gall this game. ETC still on the table. Gonna be Johanna here though. For the Pie Maker, gonna try to empower that Cassia with extra blinds. We'll see what the pairing will be. Brightwing is up and available. Will be Whitemane though, coming in here from Secret. Interesting choice. This will be the fourth Whitemane game for Secret so far this season, so not totally out of left field. Ana still available. Well, Stukov taken. Okay. So it's going to be Stukov Whitemane here. With Cassia and Johanna already picked, it looks like Dahaka will be the ban. Richards have shown they're willing to play it, and if there was ever a Dahaka map, I love playing Dahaka on Cursed. You can just warp anywhere. Everywhere's got brushes. Richards gonna take away Sylvanas here. Gonna try to deny the off-lane pushing power of Sylvanas. Can get just so much work done from so far away here on Cursed Hollow. Wildheart thinking about their next two picks. Gonna be Hanzo coming out from Brown Bala, and they get the ETC. Lupus gonna snap that up. I think that's the first time they've been able to take the ETC here. So first appearance of Hanzo. Gonna be able to sort out the objective. Uh-oh! Samuro Abathur coming on in from Muffin and Crafty Devil. Bringing in the big strats. Trying to seal this game number 3. Oh my goodness. Not a lot of games played. Not any games played as far as I can tell. Looking at my board here. And it's gonna be Lost Vikings in response from Tempest. Alright, well, we've got the cheese, if you please, coming out from our two teams. Samuro Abathur is going to be tough to deal with. The Vikings are going to keep up the soak. Hanzo going to bring the damage. Diva going to be able to catch up. Can Wildheart Gaming deal with this? We'll have to see. Richards versus Wildheart, game number 3 on Cursed Hollow. Here we go. Alrighty, game number 3 is underway. On the left in the blue, it is the Richards. With Muffin on the Samuro, Secret on the Whitemane, Ryokai is playing Cassia, Pie Maker on the Johanna, and Crafty Devil is playing Abathur. On the right in the red, Wildheart Gaming with McNulty on the Lost Vikings, Dope Monster playing Stukov, Tempest on the Diva, Lupus playing ETC, Brown Bala on the Hanzo. Vikings splitting into 3 lanes right from the start here. Hanzo going with the Scatter Arrow quest, and Cassia gonna work on that Thunderstroke quest. Members of the Richards keeping an eye on the lanes here. As Muffin getting ready to move across. It looks like our team's ready to clash here in the mid. Ryokai moving right in with the Fend. Brown Ball are gonna work around the outside here. Try to find those stacks on that Scatter quest. So it looks like the initial wave clear is going to favor Wildheart Gaming, and they're going to start their rotation down to the bottom lane. Thank you, P-Pinder. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Been working hard this season. Muffin just going to drop off some clones and then scoot on out of there. Hopefully Lupus on the chase. Gets the slide on through. Samuro is going to be silenced. Do they have the clones available? There it is. Looks like Muffin will manage to escape here. Not after taking some damage. White Mane just gonna hold things down until Johanna comes in for the help. Looks like Hanzo, Brown Bala gonna start up this camp here. 2 stacks on the initial quest so far. No one on top of the camp here for the Richards just yet. We'll see Samuro coming across the map here. Just checking. Just making sure. Muffin being body blocked here. The slide on through is good. Oh no. Muffin gonna trade places. Lupus with the continued body blocks. Tempest is on the chase. Samuro, too slippery, gonna get away here. Siege Camp gonna be pushing down the bottom lane for Wildheart Gaming. McNulty so far staying alive here, but having to move back behind the wall as the Richards are pushing hard into the bottom keep. McNulty almost getting taken out there by the White Mane Searing Lash. Lupus is going to come on down here to help out. Olaf taken out in the top lane there by Muffin. As we see Wildheart Gaming right on top of their camp macro. With Abathur Samuro, it's a little bit difficult here for the Richards to jump on their camps. They'd have to commit probably Ryokai to a lane, Pie Maker to a lane, and White Mane would have to hang out in a lane while they did that. As Samuro gonna chase down Balog here, then warp right back over the wall. And that is heroic level Samuro plays. Great job by Muffin there to deny soak opportunities to Wildheart Gaming. Muffin is gonna try to clear away the camp here. Pie Maker coming on in to help that out. Lupus just warding away Cassia. As our first tribute's gonna spawn, looks like McNulty may get this one for free. Members are moving across here. Pie Maker is gonna get stopped here by Lupus. And there it is. A quick first curse, or curse point, I should say, going over to Wildheart Gaming. Meanwhile, McNulty just pushing in the top lane, but Abathur's gonna be here to try to catch this XP. Looks like Ryokai will start up the siege camp here for the Richards. Taking a look at the XP so far, looks like a slight minion lead for Wildheart Gaming as Pie Maker looking to clear away these minions, but Lupus with the slide through. Nice bump back by Tempest. It's going to force Muffin to move back. Mercenary advantage, of course, going over to Wildhearts thus far.
Gather tribute.
As the siege camp is completed by Ryokai. Muffin going to be discovered here, the slide through. Eric taken out in the bottom lane by a wall, I would have to assume. Oh, silence on a Samuro, one more auto! Oh, not going to get there! Brown Bala has to leap away here as the choke is definitely favoring the Richards. Muffin moving around the outside will be met by Dope Monster. Muffin wants the damage onto Brown Bala. Gonna warp on out of there though, gonna have to head back to base for just a moment. And Vikings looking for another cap, and Muffin coming around for the interrupt. Is gonna get there in time. Balog gonna do their best, but the auto's just too strong. Richard's starting to control this space. Is there enough time to interrupt here? I don't think that there is. Oh, Dope Monster with the last second on the silence pool. Nicely done. Now this is where Wildheart Gaming wants to delay. They want this to go as long as possible to let the Vikings soak in the offlane. So far the Richards have done a good job of killing Vikings when they have the opportunity. As Tempest kind of tanking the entire team right now. Trying to get the stuns onto the Pie Maker. That is a nice slide through as the Iron Skin already peeled away. Secret staying alive back there with that White Mane counter dive healing. And the Vikings are in soak positions. Ryokai starting to move back. And it looks like the Richards will have to give up this objective. They've got to get to the lanes and make sure that they don't fall behind too far. Balog going to be picked up and taken down by Muffin. Diva going to come on up here, try to help out McNulty a little bit. Eric going to be in some trouble here. There's the Samuro hat onto Muffin. Eric sniffs it out, starts to move back. Bottom wall. Going to be taken down here by the Richards. ETC starting to move around the outside. Top lane currently unsoaked. It's Abathur. Gonna have to worry about getting the hat down to soak those lanes. There it is. up there in the top lane. Bottom fort wall taken out here by the Richards, but level 10 has arrived for Wildheart Gaming. Samuro on the chase here, at least the Samuro clones. Muffin moves on over to the mid lane.
Shall we see who gathers enough?
Level 10's here for Wildheart. We're looking at the plate again for the Vikings, Flailing Swipe, Dragon Arrow, Micro Missiles, and Mosh Pit, as we're setting up for possibly Curse for Wildheart Gaming. Oh, a slide and a Mosh Pit. Great moves there. Not going to be able to be interrupted. Ryokai somehow staying alive. ETC counter-killed under that tower. Diva Mech taken out as well, but there's Dope Monster with the swipe. Muffin wants to get these hits. They're going to settle for Eric. Somehow, Cassia staying alive there in the middle of that mosh pit. And the Richards will pick up their first curse point of the game. Thinking about boss here as Wildheart Gaming starting to rotate around. They're going to go ahead and start this up. Samuro coming across and possibly going to sniff it out. Nope, gonna head back to the mid lane. Bottom fort will be committed to here by the Richards. That top boss will be taken by Wildheart Gaming. Here comes Muffin, going to see it, going to believe it, and going to back on out. Bottom fort gonna be picked up here by the Richards. Samuro pushing back Olaf here, as the boss will get onto the top fort wall. Bruiser Camp going to be pushing mid here for Wildheart. Boss is started up here. Going to be a little bit slow here for the Richards, which means this top push will not be answered for some time. Muffin manages to move away. The slide through is good. The stun from the Diva is there. Manages to use the mirror image to get out of that body block. Boss still with a decent bit of health, and this top fort could be in trouble. Bottom boss still being worked on by Richard. As the top fort goes down. We're looking at a tribute coming up here in a couple seconds as well. That's going to be Curse here unless the Richards can get up here. They're down level 13 talents. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and give this up. They've got the counter boss push. And now they're just going to go ahead and try to defend this Curse. Boss going to be very quickly taken out here. Lupus with a slide through with the boss stun as well. The Silencer goes down, and that's a huge tool on the side of the Richards being taken out here. Samuro down. Not going to be able to get any counter pressure, and here they come. Cassia slid on. There's the cleanse. Oh no, but Ryokai can't get out of range. The boss slam doesn't quite land onto Cassia. Dragon Arrow coming out as well. Mech Bomb gonna push back the members of the Richards. There's a huge root. Ryokai not gonna be able to get away this time. Cassia goes down, and this top keep will be forfeit. Wildheart Gaming swinging hard here on Cursed Hollow. Boss is pushing freely in the bottom lane, but that's gonna be quickly cleared up by that keep wall. Slide is good onto Secret. Oh, it's a pick onto Whitemane. Muffin moving around the back, gonna be knocked out by the Flailing Swipe, but here comes Dope Monster. Muffin wants this kill onto Samuro. Manages to warp on through the back as well. Brown Ball is on the chase. Is the Scatter Arrow actually going to be enough here? Johanna being chased away as well. Scatter Arrow will not land. Pie Maker. Is Lupus there with the slide? No, not quite. Ryokai's back on the battlefield. All of a sudden, we're looking at Core. Oh, a huge Valkyrie. Brown Balla has to leap over this fort possibly. There it goes. Eric taken down in the bottom lane as Lost Vikings has been pushing against that bottom fort. It was actually mid lane. Samuro picking up that kill. And Wildheart Gaming looking very, very strong here, about to breach level 16. Meanwhile, Olaf has been wick-whacking away with that banana shield. The Richards going to pick up their bruiser, try to alleviate some pressure in these lanes. Wildheart Gaming looking very, very strong here in game number 3. Balog going to be in some trouble here. Samuro's on the chase. Gets the leap, but the advancing strikes is going to be enough. Wildheart starting to move across the map. Bosses aren't up for just a little bit here. But they've got the level 16 advantage. Can they find a pick in this time? Ryokai trying to defend this bottom fort. Tempest moving around the outside. We'll see Secret. Not going to get the dismount just yet. Ryokai in some trouble here, though. Bops the Unstoppable, but you can't Unstoppable your way through a body block. Cassia taken out here. And now the bottom fort in some trouble. Tempest proxying the lane. We're going to see Muffin move into this mid-keep. Going to use the wave clear of the Blade Storm. Grab this XP. Level 16 has arrived for the Richards. They're on even talent tiers for now. But with Cassia down, that's a big piece of the damage gone from the equation. Bottom keep wall going to be pushed in here. Siege Camp definitely going to be helping out with the DPS. Muffin thinking about moving around the outside. Wall still shelling away. Tempest with the giant defense matrix. Slowing down the damage. Scatter Arrow just peppering up the members of the Richards. Playmaker is up though. Bladestorm coming out there. McNulty gonna sacrifice Olaf to try to slow down the members of the Richards. The rest of the crew gonna get away here. Tributes spawning. There's Eric in position for the quick cap. The Richards coming on up here to try to interrupt. Looks like Abathur will get the mule interrupt. Maybe, kinda. There it is. Very nicely done. Muffin gonna come on through. Uh-oh. Wildheart Gaming coming around the outside. A little bit split right now. Tempest gonna boost on through. McNulty, Brown Ball, a Dope Monster on the outside. Micro Missiles with the first interrupt onto Ryokai. Muffin on the backline gonna do some serious work here. There's the Valkyrie pull. Brown Ball manages to go over the wall. Flailing swipe from Dope Monster is enough for the peel. Dragon Arrow comes out, somehow goes through everybody. Diva is down before the mech can drop. Bladestorm coming out as well. Eric taken out. Lupus could be next. Muffin is on the chase. And all of a sudden, the Richards showing what their comp is all about. Getting a nice split onto the members of Wildheart, and they're going to pick up their second curse. And they're going to move on to this boss. Meanwhile, the Vikings are going to steal this siege camp, give Abathur something to worry about. But boss will be pushing the top lane here. Bottom boss is up in 13 seconds. And Diva down for 20. Wildheart trying to stay off the map a little bit here. Boss will be taken out. Top lane going to have to be dealt with sooner rather than later, as we've got a catapult and some siege minions pushing on the core. Wildheart in position for this next tribute. If they lose this one, it's going to be Curse going their way. McNulty taken out there. No big deal. Minions on the core. Looks like Muffin's going to be dealing with that. Back siege camp going to be grabbed here by Wildheart Gaming. 10 seconds till the tribute's up. Looks like the Richards are in position. Piemaker going to move on up there. Lupus will see it. Scouted out once again by the micro missiles. Brown Balla can't get the first interrupt. Uses the Sonic Arrow to secure the second. Here comes Abathur. There's the big pull. Oh, look at that. Hanzo absolutely exploded. Lupus and Tempest going to have to run away here. Dope Monster throwing in the slows. And the Richards, all of a sudden, looking extra strong here in the late game. Top boss being worked on by Olaf will be cleaned up by this wave in these towers. And it's going to be a second boss along with this curse here for the Richards. Top boss cleared away by Wildheart Gaming. They've got a lane in the top. They've got their level 20s. If all they need is one team fight to close this, but can they get it? Will the Richards give them the opportunity to find a fair team fight? Muffin taking out the advancing Vikings. McNulty gonna be chased away here. Piemaker not going to find the Condemn, but this mid fort will go down. Bottom fort is down. The boss is pushing. Level 20 about to be here for the Richards. This could be trouble here for Tempest and Lupus. Ryokai moving on up will be slowed. There's the Valkyrie going to pull Diva right back in there. Manages to avoid the root from the boss. And it's going to be level 20 coming on in here for the Richards. This is going to be big trouble here for Wildheart Gaming. Boss is on the core, or not core again. Boss is on the keep. Core gonna start firing. Keep gonna start firing. Why am I calling every building a core today? Looks like the keep is gonna go down to the boss. So a similar opening here for the Richards. Bosses are not in play. Ryokai gonna start up the bruiser camp. Wildheart just catching their breath, catching up these lanes. Camp's gonna be picked up here. Brown Bala waiting on the siege. Gonna be another 30 seconds though. Now Wildheart is looking for answers. Piemaker's gonna move across the map here. Muffin gonna grab the vision camp. Now Samuro throwing down the clones. These teams a little bit of a stalemate here.
Core is under attack.
Top lane will have to be dealt with. Crafty Devil gonna throw out the brain for it. Viking gonna be picked off here. Bottom camp will be taken. Vikings doing a good job of getting out there and scouting. They've got to play it again if necessary to come on back. Lupus gonna be discovered by Muffin as we do have a camp invade here. Micro missiles coming out as well. Valkyrie will not land. That's a big engage tool gone here. Lupus thinking about moving back in. There's the Dragon Arrow onto Piemaker. Iron Skin peeled away here. Silent Zone on the outside. McNulty staying on the camp. Slide in is good. Lupus is going to be interrupted. 10 seconds on that ult. Dope Monster getting the swipes in. McNulty staying alive. Ryokai on the point. That's Balog. That's Olaf. That's Eric. All the Vikings are down. No one else is down, but here's the Bruiser in the mid. The Richards finding the advantage despite missing the Valkyrie, and they're going to get some pressure here in the mid. Keep is in trouble. Can Wildheart recover here? Here's Tempest dropping off the bomb, using the tornado kick to get on out of there. Ryokai pushing right into Lupus. One more auto. That's it for ETC. Richard's going to move back onto this keep. Tempest is pushing Muffin back in. Samuro staying alive. There's the Valkyrie. Not going to quite land there, but Tempest is going to be knocked out of the mech. Muffin being keyed onto. Oh no, Samuro is down. Taken out there by the keep. Ryokai being pushed back as well. Brown Bala wants to move in, wants to keep up the pressure. But that's a huge part of the equation taken out here.
Blue team's core is under attack.
Core is being pressured by catapults in the top lane. Abathur's doing their best. But it looks like the members of the Richards are going to have to retreat and save their core. And that's going to be a boss coming in here for Wildheart Gaming. That's a pretty big deal, as this boss is going to be going straight to the core. There's no minion pressure from the Richards in the top lane. 25 seconds till Samuro's back. Brown Bala just shredding that. Bottom boss is up in 45 seconds. Piemaker will be scouted out by McNulty. Wildheart, what do they do here? McNulty gonna bait them on back. ETC coming up to join. This is a tense push. The boss at full health. Gonna be moving on to the core here. Ryokai trying to get some poke in. Lupus coming around the outside. Muffin is back up on the battlefield. Looking for a slide. Don't want to burn it on Samuro, but the boss is barreling towards the core here. Wildheart, they want to get in there. They want to possibly get this done. Boss is down to half health. Slide onto Piemaker. There's the root silence. That's Johanna down. The tank is down. Dragon Arrow going to come on out. Muffin is caught by the boss stun after the Dragon Arrow. Can they find this kill onto Samuro? Boss is going to be taken out here. Olaf is down. 80% on the core. Lupus, they're going to find Whitemane. The silence is out. Cassia. Samuro is actually down. Hanzo's down as well. There's the mech on the core. Hanzo is gone, but so is Samuro and Johanna. Wildheart continuing the pressure. Slide is good onto Cassia. Unstoppable popped by Ryokai. Eric is down. Secret moving on the outside, trying to find these hits onto Dope Monster. Stukov is down. Oh no, Wildheart has to retreat. 46% on the core, and Richards hold. Ryokai moving in, finds the hits onto Tempest, but will not be there for the chase. The Richards somehow pull out the miracle defense and hold the core. ETC gonna head back to base. D.Va moving back down to try to clear this bottom lane as these catapults are starting to stack up. 4 catapults. Lucas keeping an eye on the catapults, just trying to burn those down. Level 23 to 23 here. The Richards are on top of the boss, again moving towards an open core. Vikings are keeping constant pressure on that top lane. We're going to see the camp steal come on out. Tempest trying to get here in time. Can they get on this boss pit? Tempest moving quickly. Here comes Lupus as well. We're going to be fighting over this boss pit, but Stukov is not here. Dragon Arrow coming out. There's the ult from Whitemane. This could be serious trouble here for Wildheart Gaming. ETC on the outside. That's going to be D.Va going down. Brown Balla trying to escape. Leaps over the terrain. ETC being chased out by Muffin. Bladestorm. The Vikings they're on the core with the camp. Muffin starting to move back. Eric is down. Core shielding going to be taken out here, but the team is here for the defense. Dope Monster moving on in. Balog is down. Lupus on here as well. This is a last-ditch effort. Dope Monster wiping them away with the swipe. There goes ETC. There goes Dope Monster. Vikings are coming in as well. Brown Balla has to make this work. Hanzo is down. Muffin clearing that away. Core is being shielded by Abathur. McNulty just doing their best. 37-34, but that's 3 Vikings down. The core 21%. This catapult still firing 19%, but that is going to be it. Boss is on the core, and the Richards pull it out here in game number 3, taking this game and taking the series. They will move on in the Heroic Division playoffs. GG. An unbelievable end to that game. Wildheart Gaming finding the picks when they needed it, getting those Samuro kills, finding the Johanna, getting the stagger at the end, but a miracle defense and turnaround from the Richards, and they are moving on in the Heroic playoffs. What a game. 17 kills to 7 there for the Richards. Ryokai on the Cassia bringing the noise. 104,000 hero damage on the Cassia. It was Brown Balla on the Hanzo there for Wildheart Gaming. 68.5k. Look at the Viking siege and experience. Almost 250,000. Over 40,000 XP soaked. What a game number 3. Fantastic series from our 2 teams. We're going to grab a quick look here at the talents, and then I'll see if I can snag us an interview with our winners. Alrighty, that is our series. Let me throw a quick whisper out. At Richard. An interview. Lobby 5. Alright, usually I go over that in my pregame spiel, but I didn't get to it today, so I'm making sure to throw out the invitation. Alright, and we have Muffin joining us. Muffin, congratulations on the 2-1 and moving forward in the playoffs.
Thanks. Oh man, that felt great to play.
That was quite the series there, bringing out the spice in game number 3 with the Samuro Abathur versus the Vikings. Let's focus in there on game number 3. So we saw the Anubarak band coming out from you, baiting out the Cho'Gall band from the other side. Was there an opening in that draft for the Samuro Abathur, or was that the plan from the start?
Well, we haven't run it literally the entire season. Like, we didn't play it even once, but outside of my team, I actually play Samuro a lot in like Storm League and stuff. So hopefully they didn't know that. Hopefully they didn't see it coming, and they did not see it coming.
I certainly didn't see it coming. I had my draft notes up. No Samuros, no Abathurs. I was like, well, I mean, it's a map possibility. But then the snap block at the end looking fantastic. Throughout that game there, it looked like Wildheart Gaming was getting some good pressure. They were getting the boss clear was very strong. Where did you feel the tipping point was where you started to fight back on the map?
When you let Samuro Avatar reach level 16, you start losing the game slowly but surely. So that's pretty much it. Like once we hit that talent tier, you don't win any more fights. Unless like we make a horrible mistake.
Okay. So that's 16. Yeah, it was definitely 16. We started to see really harassing that back line, finding the picks there and starting to regain control of the map. Now, talk to me about the sort of extended core defense there post level 20. We saw a couple of staggered deaths, but ultimately able to save the core. What were the key parts of that fight? Like, who specifically on the enemy team were you trying to zone away, trying to stop to make sure that core defense was successful?
Actually, looking back, they probably could have successfully ended the game there if they didn't go in one by one. I think they were very panicked at that point, and that's what cost them the game. If they waited, and if they all came together instead of like Sukov walking through our mid keep and taking infinite damage before he reached our core, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
They would have won, actually.
Very, very close at the end there for sure.
I actually almost got killed by Vikings, and oof. But who knows what might have happened if things were different. Like, I think because they were trickling in one by one, I told my team that they could just stay and push. And we only needed like a second to heal me up while I killed everyone. They had catapults and giants on core. It was pretty freaking spooky.
Yeah, it was really on a knife's edge at the end there. But very well played. 2-1 victory there in that series. That means you're going to be moving on. That's going to be, let me pull up the bracket here in a moment. Series is actually going on right now. Brawl is Life versus Phoenix Rising Topaz. Is there a preferred opponent for the sake of, reliving a regular season match, or a preferred opponent in terms of play style here for round number 2?
If I had to choose, I'd want to play against Phoenix Rising Topaz. In our regular season, we actually didn't get to play against their main roster.
Oh, okay.
Their captain, AoE Rules, actually plays some very interesting heroes, and I'd like to see them pull it out in our series. Namely, Nova.
Right. Well, that series is going on right now. I'm not sure what the score is right now, but we're going to be going on over there after to see who your opponent's going to be. So, all right. Congratulations again on the 2-1 victory. Any shout-outs you'd like to make before we close things down here?
Oh, absolutely. First, shout-outs to you for casting our game. Our games haven't been casted in like so long. Oh, very sad. But anywho's, shout-outs to my team for not pulling their hairs out as I int relentlessly. Shout-outs to the enemy team for giving us probably the most heart-pounding playoff series I've ever played in my life. Oh my god. And shout out to one very special friend who showed up in chat today. His name is Dr. Trolls. He is getting married in 2 days. Like, freaking God bless him.
Oh, fantastic. Happy nuptials, Dr. Trolls. All the best for you going forward. Fantastic to hear. All right, Muffin, thank you very much for joining me, and good luck going forward in the playoffs.
Thanks.